When faced with a big decision, someone, usually confident and unsolicited, will tell you to trust your gut. Is that good advice? It depends on what you mean by trusting your gut. Are you talking about intuition grounded in experience or receiving a message from the mothership? Not all gut feelings come from the same place, but they feel exactly the same. Before you trust yours, it's worth knowing what it actually is. In 2009, U.S. Airways Flight 1549 struck a flock of geese about 90 seconds after takeoff from New York's LaGuardia Airport. The plane hadn't even reached 3,000 feet, a little over 900 meters for our European friends. Both engines failed. The Airbus A320 was now a glider. It's not designed to be a glider. Captain Chesley Sully Sullenberger immediately declares an emergency. Air traffic control's first instinct is to get him back to an airport. They offered LaGuardia and then Teterboro Airport. Sully declined. He told air traffic control we're going to be in the Hudson. He announces over the PA, "This is the captain, brace for impact." You know the rest. The famous Miracle on the Hudson. All 155 souls were saved and were able to hug their loved ones that evening. Sully's brain didn't have time for prolonged deliberation. What he did have is decades of training and experience. 42 years worth. Older people are awesome. Sometimes your brain recognizes a pattern before your conscious mind can explain it. This is the conventional view of intuition. A gut feeling grounded in experience. The answer arrives first. The explanation comes later. But experience and training aren't the only place gut feelings come from. Sometimes what we call gut feelings are coming from something else. You're on your third date, and your gut is telling you she's the one. You decide to get matching tattoos and take your first vacation together. It's the first time you're spending 24/7 together. She gets snooty with the hotel staff and complains about the food, the weather, the bed, and gravity. Suddenly you realize that gut feeling was only wishful thinking and loneliness. It happens. Just because someone says they have a gut feeling doesn't make it so. Sometimes you're just wrong because your gut feeling is getting powered by desire, fear, and other personal drivers. But there's still another false signal. Have you ever attended a meeting at work where people are debating how to handle a big project like a product launch? The boss is in the room, but just listening. 90 minutes later, the boss thanks everyone for their input and announces they're going with their gut. The claim of a gut call may or may not be genuine. However, going with your gut is a good rhetorical device for telling people you've made a decision. It signals confidence and finality. It resists further analysis. You don't have to be in a position of authority to use it, and it doesn't necessarily mean that someone is being deceptive. It's just a way of declaring that a decision has been made, even if it wasn't based on genuine gut feelings. We have one more to cover before we get to the bigger question. This next one is unique. It deals with something bigger than ourselves. Some people believe their gut feeling comes from outside themselves. Maybe it's divine guidance. Maybe it's a signal from another dimension. Maybe it's from a greater consciousness or the universe. The specific source depends on the person's beliefs. These claims aren't something we can objectively evaluate. So that brings us back to the original question. Should you trust your gut? First, a quick reality check. If the engines on your plane just failed, you're not pausing to audit your intuition. You're reacting. That's what Sully did. And it worked because his gut had 42 years of experience behind it. But most big decisions aren't like that. Most big decisions offer time for deliberation and consideration. And time means you can ask a better question than, should you trust your gut? You can ask, what is my gut actually telling me, and what's fueling it? Is it experience? Gut feelings are only as reliable as the expertise behind them. Domain knowledge matters. Is it emotion? Fear, desire, guilt. These are powerful drivers that can feel like intuition. If that's the fuel, don't follow the feeling. Follow it back to its source instead. Is it something external? Something greater than yourself? Even then, due diligence isn't disrespect. The Trojans thought the giant wooden horse was a divine gift. They wielded it inside their walls. It didn't work out for them. So you've identified the source. Now another question surfaces. Should you always act on your gut, especially when it's genuine? Gut feelings are signals. They're not verdicts. At their best, they cut through noise, compress experience, and point you towards something worth paying attention to. At their worst, they're fueled by personal drivers, like fear or desire. They wear the same clothing as the real thing and can fool you. The difference matters, especially when the stakes are high. So treat your gut the way a good captain treats their instruments. Check them, understand them, but don't forget who's flying the plane. You're the one responsible for where and how your decisions land. My gut is telling me that if you subscribe, you'll be very thankful. This channel is about making better decisions through clearer thinking. We've only scratched the surface. More videos are coming. Before you go, have you ever trusted your gut and gotten it wrong? Or right, for reasons you couldn't explain at the time? Drop it in the comments.